Hi, I'm Kate with The Productive Teacher, and today we're going to play the word maker game with the odd word family. One-syllable words can be made up of an onset, that's any letter or letters that come before the vowel in a word, and a rime, that's the vowel and any letters that come after it. All the words in a word family have the same rime, but they can have different onsets. As we go through the video today, you can listen to me read the words, you can read along with me, or you can mute the video and read the words on your own. Let's get started. Bod. Bod is not a word. Cod. Cod is a word. Dod. Dod is not a word. Fod. Fod is not a word. God. God is a word. Sometimes people capitalize God. Hod. Hod is not a word. Jod. Jod is not a word. Cod. Spelled like this, cod is not a word. Lod. Lod is not a word. Mod. Mod is not a word. Nod. Nod is a word. Pod. Pod is a word. Rod. Rod is a word. Sod. Sod is a word. Tod. Tod can be a name but not spelled like this. Tod spelled like this is not a word. Vod. Vod is not a word. Wad. Spelled like this, wad is not a word. Yod. Yod is not a word. Zod. Zod is not a word. Chod. Chod is not a word. Fod. Fod is not a word. Shod. Shod is not a word. Thod. Thod is not a word. Quad. Quad spelled like this is not a word. Wad. Wad is not a word. Blod. Blod is not a word. Broad. Spelled like this, broad is not a word. Clod. Clod is a word. Crod. Crod is not a word. Drawed. Drawed is not a word. Flawed. Flawed is not a word. Fraud. Fraud spelled like this is not a word. Glod. Glod is not a word. Grod. Grod is not a word. Plod. Plod is a word. Prod. Prod is a word. Slod. Slod is not a word. Smod. Smod is not a word. Spod. Spod is not a word. Stod. Stod is not a word. Trod. Trod is a word. Scrod. Scrod is not a word. Shrod. Shrod is not a word. Splod. Splod is not a word. Squad. Spelled like this, squad is not a word. Strawed. Strawed is not a word. Throd. Throd is not a word. Great job. Let's see how many words we made. Great job. We made 10 words in the odd word family. Thanks so much for playing. I'll see you next time.